Hi, I'm Hannele and I'm going to talk to you about the Solar Plexus Center, which is also called the emotional center. In the design, when you look at your chart, it's this brown triangle here on the right hand side, right underneath the little red triangle right there. So if you look at your design and you see that this is colored in, there's brown color in that center, it means that it is defined within you. That makes you an emotional being. That means the emotions is automatically your inner authority. Basically how you make decisions in this life. So if you have a defined solar plexus, time is everything. Everything. Because the way that, I'm going to use the term we because I am emotional, so it's my authority. So I mean, I have first-hand experience of what that feels like. So we have a very specific makeup in our design, and that is that our nervous system, our breathing, all kinds of functions within the body, the hormones, the everything that are related to this emotional center, this solar plexus center, is something that requires time, so that any decisions, anything that is in the process can have enough time for it to land really deep, so that we can have awareness of what we need to do in terms of decision making. Because the solar plexus is something that it's emotional. It operates in a wave. We have the nervous system that takes in information. There are neural pathways firing within us. You know, there's a deepening of the process, maturation, if you like, that cannot happen in an instant. So if you're an emotional being, the wisdom and awareness of what's correct for you, how your body operates, how you're taking information, it's over time. And within that time, the emotional being is going to experience high emotional waves, you know, feeling happy, maybe even feeling irritable, aggressive, I don't know, there's all kinds of, like, you know, when you have high energy, a lot of energy, it can come up as joy or happiness, and it sometimes can show up as irritation, or, you know. We also go through waves of low energy, which can be just feeling tired or lethargic, can feel a little down, can just feel melancholic, can be flat, you know. But these are all states within our emotional wave. So we're going to go up, we're going to feel high energy, we're going to go low, we're going to feel low energy, and we're going to feel everything in between. But it's a wave. And that wave is something that is really a key element when we're making our decision, because that wave is going to take time. So if you are going to make decisions in your life and you want to make sure that you are going to feel good about them, they're going to feel correct for you and for your body, you need to give it time. And the best advice is always to at least sleep over it. Now I know that, you know, some things that you can't sleep over. For example, if somebody asks you out for a dinner tonight, you can't necessarily sleep over it, but you can give it a breath or two, or tell the person, I'm going to get back to you. You know, just take some time to feel about it. Let it land into your nervous system. Let it settle in there and mature for a little while before you engage yourself with something. If you don't, you're entering into some things immaturely. When your body is not really on board, or your mind, there's nervousness, there's doubt, there's hesitance. It doesn't feel good. You're not fully on board. You know how that feels like. It's not pleasant. Uncertainty, fear. Nervousness is really a key. So whenever you feel nervous about something, don't make a decision yet. You know, this emotional or authority is about 50% of humanity. On the other hand, if you're somebody who has no emotional authority, basically you're looking at your design and this center here is white. Basically what it means is that you take in other people's emotions through your open emotional center. So all these feelings that people are feeling around you, the 50% of humanity that have this emotional authority, you're going to take that in, feel it in your body and amplify it, and your mind, your not self mind tends to go there. And because the not self mind is not really equipped to deal with the emotionality, it will show up in themes like looking for ways to get out of things. You know, I don't want to confront something because it feels emotionally too tense. I mean, I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know how to deal with these intense emotions. Therefore, I better not rock that boat. You know, avoiding stuff can cause, you know, living a double life, you know, not letting people in what's really going on with you because you're just afraid to meet the truth, you know. So one of the things about being unemotional, so not having the emotional authority, is that you can get caught up in thinking that you have to fix out your emotions, or you have to figure out what you're feeling, you know, work on yourself and your emotions. That's not really the case. That is for the emotional beings. You're not here to do that. But I know that your mind is going to be telling you that you should, because it's your mind, it's your not self mind that gets in there and thinks there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You are here to take in other people's emotions, amplifying them, and realizing that they are not yours. What you have another authority. I mean, there are different authorities here, so I can't speak in generally. But whatever your authority is, this is where you can always tune into. You know, it's like a place for grounding. Whenever you get caught up in the emotional field, or you don't really know how you're feeling, or you feel anxious about those, or nervous about those people who emotional around you, you can step back and really land into your own authority. You know, you're not here to wait out. I mean, everybody's here to wait to some degree, but you don't have to wait out to see what you feel about stuff. Your decision-making capacity is somewhere else. But what you can watch is how much you're trying to avoid truth and confrontation. You know, are you running away from things because you're just too afraid to meet the people in your life because of the high emotional charge? You know, is that really what drives your decision-making capacity? Are you letting your mind control you in that way? Or can you forget about that? Forget about even avoiding truth and confrontation and just land into your own natural inner authority and your strategy as if whatever type you are. And allow that to be the guide in this crazy emotional world that is all around us. And understand that the emotions and the chaos that you're feeling inside of you is not necessarily yours at all. Therefore, there's nothing for you to fix. You can just let it dissolve as you go into your own space and in your own aura and land into your own inner authority and your strategy.